You know, the funny thing is, it didn't start with a bang, not for me. Anyway, it was just static. I was on a long haul up past Rocky. Mining equipment. Just me, the road, and talkback. And the radio started getting weird. First, reports of the new kind of bird flu. This flu, that flu, you know. That age again. So, riots in some cities I've never even heard of, but it turns out, you know, just another Tuesday. You're more worried about the price of diesel and getting home in time for brekkie with the girls. I call them every night. Little Lily and Maya. And I'd be at some dusty servo in the middle of nowhere. And the whole world smelling of diesel fumes and hot bitumen. I'd listen to them tell me about school, about some cartoon they watched. That was the real world. The rest, just static. The drive south, that's when the static started getting louder. The radio reports got more frantic, contradictory. One station is telling you to stay indoors, the other is saying it's a military lockdown. Then nothing, just a high-pitched whine for hundreds of k's. You started seeing cars abandoned on the side of the road, just left there. A couple at first, then dozens. Then you get a cold feeling in your gut, but you keep driving, you have to. You tell yourself, it's just panic, people are idiots. You just have to get home. I saw the first proper sick one, at a petrol station outside of Gympie. A bloke in a business suit, leaning against the Bowser, just coughing. But it wasn't a normal cough. It was this wet, thick, rasping sound. And when he pulled his hand away from his mouth, it was just red. Not blood, thicker like crimson paint. He looked up at me in his eyes. They weren't angry or scared. They were just confused, lost. I don't know. I didn't fill up the tank. I just got back in the truck and drove. My hands were shaking. But that still wasn't it. That was just sickness. I'd seen sickness. The moment, the real moment. It was on the Bruce Highway, just north of Pine Rivers Bridge. The traffic was a nightmare. Everyone was trying to get into Brisbane or get out. It was a car park. I was high up in the cab and I could see everything. And up ahead, there was this family, mum, dad, couple of kids in the back of a little Hyundai, and they pulled over. And there was a woman on the side of the road on her knees coughing that same cough. And the dad gets out and he's got a bottle of water. And he starts walking towards her, and his wife is yelling at him from the car. You can see it, but he's not listening. He's just a bloke trying to help a sick woman. A normal bloke. Kind of thing you're supposed to do, right? He gets to her, offers her the water, and then this ute, a busted up all Hilux, pulls up the shoulder. Two blokes get out. They weren't sick. They were clear-eyed. They didn't even look at the woman on the ground, and they just looked at the Hyundai, at the dad, and then one of them had a tire iron. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. He just walked up to the dad. He swung it once, and the sound I'll never forget, a dull, wet crack. The dad just folded, dropped the bottle of water, and the woman in the car, she was distraught and screaming, and then the two blokes, they just dragged his body out of the way. One of them got in the Hyundai, pulled the screaming woman out and threw her on the ground. The kids in the back, my God, the kids, they didn't want to help. They weren't scared of sickness. They just wanted the car, the fuel. the half-eaten bag of chips on the dashboard. They saw a man showing a moment of weakness, a moment of humanity, and they saw an opportunity. That was it. That was the moment. It wasn't the cough, I don't think, that ended the world. It wasn't the fever. It was that moment we stopped being people and just became things. Obstacles, resources. That's when I knew the rules were gone. My only job, my only reason for breathing was to get to the girls. And I knew right then that I would have to become a monster to do it. So I put my foot down, drove right past them, right past the screaming. The man I was, he died that day on the highway, crying in the cab of his truck. He wasn't built for this world. He left the clown to drive the rest of the way home. What a drive.